And so why are younger workers getting hit harder than adults?
Well, the main reason that this particular age bracket is getting hit hardest, Sherry, is because they work in the most exposed sectors to the pandemic. So, for example, retail, trade, manufacturing, tourism, and so on. And in fact, out of that, women and the poorest workers are getting hardest hit. Now, we spoke with young workers around the region, and the message from all of them was the same. The pandemic has upended their career plans. It's not just about losing a job, by the way. It's also about suffering pay cuts. It's working fewer hours, and they're being forced into the informal labour market. And that's why the ADB and ILO, for example, are warning of a lockdown generation without massive government support for youth unemployed in Asia.
So, for example, with the Australian federal budget this week, we see massive amounts of money being thrown at tax cuts, for example, support for small businesses. Is there enough structural efforts being made by governments to get this generation back to work and back on track?
Well, the key message, Heidi, from the experts that we spoke to is that the money should go on education, training and upskilling of these young workers. And there needs to be massive public spending now by these governments right around the region. And in particular, they need to upskill those younger workers to get them ready for the sectors that are booming. For example, technology is hiring right now, but it's only hiring those who have the right skill sets. And there's also a requirement for gender-based intervention to make sure that women are getting up the ladder, because given that they've been disproportionately hit in all of this. So the message from all of these experts are, to your point, that there is absolutely a need for government support, but the government support has to come in the area of education and training and skills to keep this workforce and to get them work fit for when the pandemic passes.
And given everything you've told us, what sort of structural changes should we expect from this crisis?
So here the thinking, Sherry, is that actually it's going to accelerate the shift into the gig economy. I mean, the gig economy is around all of us, but the thinking now is that actually those people who've lost their formal work will utilise their digital skills. They might start up their own businesses. They might offer skills online. But that's all okay up to a point, and it's not without risk. We know that the informal labour market offers less protection, it offers poorer conditions, and not everybody's going to thrive on that. And in fact, the World Bank themselves has warned that this pandemic is going to create a new poor in Asia, with poverty increasing for the first time in 20 years. And that's why the experts are saying there's massive government stimulus is required, massive government support is required, especially in the area of education and training.